Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about the biggest complaint I hear when it comes to vinyl records, the price. Everybody's complaining that the price of vinyl records have gone through the roof. It's gone crazy. And to be fair, I think a lot of people feel that way about a lot of things. Because we're paying so much for rent, for food, for so many other things, we're left with a lot less discretionary spending. And also because all of the materials that are put into vinyl records have gone up, the price of vinyl records have gone up. I even have friends that I talk to, I consider my viewers my friends, that tell me, I'm actually into CDs now. I've gotten away from vinyl because the better value is with CDs. They're less expensive. And they want to own their own personal format. They want those titles, those records. They want to have the physical format of them. And so to save money, they're buying CDs. So I thought what would be interesting is if I took and told you the honest truth about some of my recent purchases, how much I spent. I'll share with you whether I thought they were a good value. You can let me know if you think they were a good value. And I have a little bit of an overall thought at the end that might surprise you. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, I just want to tell you thank you so much for so many of you that were really concerned about my well-being, my family. We have lived here in Florida for 2 months and we've been through 3 hurricanes already. And we were not in the path of the hurricane. We did get some of the aftermath or just some damage. Very little for us, though. We had a fence that got damaged, and in the long run, that's okay. We can live with that. We were very fortunate to not suffer damage like so many other cities and states. It's just been a very hard time, but thank you all so much for your concern. I mean, it was very touching that you all reached out to me to make sure that me, my family, everyone was okay, and we are doing great. So thank you. Also, I want to give a special thank you to someone who sent me an amazing gift. I don't know how he parted with this because it's so incredible, but it's actually just the perfect thing to send to me in the situation we're in with just moving into a new house. Harry from Harry's Music Room. He's got a great channel. I love him to death. We've never met in person, but I just have a great affection for him. He's so funny. And he's got a great channel with a killer collection. I love watching his videos. When he's on Rachel's Ghost, he's absolutely hysterical. So I just enjoy him as a person. And he sent the most amazing gift. It's the lyrics to the song Our House from Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young off of the Deja Vu album. It was written by Graham Nash at a time when he was with Joni Mitchell and her 2 cats. And it's just a lovely, the lyrics, what's extra cool about it, Graham Nash signed it. It is copy number 395 of 500. He picked this up at a Graham Nash concert and parted with it and sent it to me. And he said I could put it in my music room. Honestly, it might come, I might find the spot in my music room, but I honestly think it's something very special that I could put in just my house in general, kind of around an area where the entryway or something. So I haven't exactly picked the spot of where I want to put that, but thank you, Harry, to Harry's Music Room. I'm going to leave a link below for Harry. And so let's go ahead now and get into the heart of the matter, what I want to talk about in this video. I've purchased not very many records lately because I'm kind of where you all are. Everything's expensive. We just moved into a new house and we're in the process of replacing a lot of things in this house. So money for vinyl records has kind of dried up a little bit, in the way that a lot of you say vinyl record collecting has been hard for you too. I hear you, but these are records that I purchased. I'm going to tell you all about them. You let me know and I'll let you know if I think they were worth what I paid for them. Let's start off with INXS, the album X. This is the Rhino Rocktober version of this record. And I've never had it in my collection, with the exception of 1990 when I had this cassette. This is something that I've wanted for a while. It brings back incredible memories. So back in the day, on a beautiful fall, crisp autumn day, beautiful colored leaves everywhere, I took a several-hour or few-hour trip to see a boyfriend in college. The boyfriend isn't really that significant in the story, but having my Thunderbird that I drove at the time with a sunroof up, and I was wearing a sweatshirt and shorts, my favorite fall outfit, enjoying the beautiful scenery as I drove to see this boy and playing INXS X, just really brings back warm memories. So I always wanted to have this one in the collection again. And let's talk about each detail. I paid $24.99 for it. I bought it from Experience Vinyl. And I do buy from them often because I really like the service they provide. When you place your order, they give you that confirmation. Then they ship it pretty quickly. They give you the notification that it's being delivered. And then after the delivery, you get another notification. It's been delivered, which in certain weather is very, very convenient. I enjoy knowing, because I have honestly had records put on my front porch and I didn't even know it, and several hours later in the freezing cold, in the heat. So I like having that notification, and I think they're great. $24.99 plus shipping, plus tax. We cannot control shipping, tax. Those are just kind of the things that go with it. Gatefold, for one. I love that it has a gatefold. I think that's great. The cardboard itself is very flimsy and thin, so you're getting something that could bend very easily. It also is, it comes with a paper inner sleeve. This is what the record was in, so you do have to have your own inner sleeve. If you don't want to keep it in a paper sleeve, you got to, provide your own polyline sleeve. It is on red vinyl, which is very pretty, transparent red. I love it. To me, there's really not much prettier than this. I absolutely love red. And so it sounds pretty good. Now, it's not like, I would never say if I do some kind of if I want to test my stereo equipment, for example, no, I'm not going to put this one on there. It doesn't rise to that level, but it does sound really pleasing. It's not, it's competent. Okay, so the sound quality is good, not great, not mind-blowing, but it's very good. I think some songs are better than others. My copy has a little bit of a warp, so that kind of takes a little bit out of it for me. It would make it, I'm not planning on selling it, but if I wanted to sell it on eBay or Discogs, I would have to mention that there is a warp. So it does devalue the record. And it plays, it doesn't have a problem with playing, it doesn't affect play at all, but it's still a little annoying. Not the end of the world, not so much that I want a new copy. I think based on what I've read from reviews of this record, that is a little bit of a common problem with that. So overall, I think this was a good purchase for $24.99. If I think back to when I first started collecting records, I would say a record like this used to be around the $21.99 mark, especially because it had a gatefold. But yes, I think that was a good purchase, and I'm glad to have it in the collection. $24.99 I think is a fair price. Let me know what you think, especially with that warp. That's one of those things, a lot of people, they would get a different record for that. I'm not like that. I think that it plays fine, and I'm not really worried about the resale value, at least not right now. Let's go ahead now and talk about another purchase. This is from Mobile Fidelity. This is Jeff Beck with the Jan Hammer Group Live. And this is a record that I see from time to time, but I've never picked it up because the album cover always looks just horrendous. It's just really, really in bad condition anytime I see it. But I really loved MoFi's version of Jeff Beck's Truth. So when this was named as one of their new releases, I was very curious. I did purchase this with my own money. This is copy number 1057. When you get a promotional copy, it is not numbered. It is just blank right there. But I did purchase this for $39.99. So I gave this a listen because I wanted to make sure I liked the music, and I played it for a while and I kept thinking, okay, this sounds familiar, especially when I got to Full Moon Boogie. I was like, I've heard this. I know that, what do they call that? That talking guitar. I always forget what that is, a talk box. I knew this, and it dawned on me that when I was a little girl, my mom and I would sit in the car and listen to radio. We were waiting for my sister. My sister was in cheerleading, and she was at marching band contests. Sometimes we would be sitting in a school parking lot till 11 o'clock at night, just waiting for her to arrive. This was before the days of cell phones where, someone could call you and say, hey, we're almost there. Go ahead and head out now. No, we had to sit out there and wait and wait and wait. And I can remember we would listen to some FM stations. They would play something like a Jefferson Starship song, like Count on Me or Miracles or something like that. But sometimes if it got very late on these FM channels, they would just play a full album in its entirety. And this was one of them they played. And I remember hearing that with my mom. And I didn't know I didn't know Eddie Van Halen yet, who becomes my all-time favorite guitarist. But I feel like Jeff Beck kind of introduced me to amazing guitar playing. And I just remember listening to that, being blown away by the guitar playing. So it does have an incredible memory. It took me a while to just kind of retrieve it. But anyway, this sounds great. So what are we getting for $39.99? For one, it is not a gatefold, but it is a much sturdier, heavier cardboard. It's not going to bend easily, and so you're getting the high quality of that. You're also getting I really think MoFi has a great vinyl formula, whether it's super vinyl or just the regular vinyl. You get a polyline sleeve, and this is the kind I purchase anyway, so I don't have to use one of my own. I get one automatically, and again, great, quiet. It was flat. It did not have any, it was not warped in any way. So it was in great shape. I feel like with the $39.99 price tag, you're paying for a small company making an incredible sounding record. It is an audiophile experience. Yes, it's a live album, so you do hear the crowd. They get into it. At times they're clapping and getting into it. So you feel like you're, or at least this is, I'm just saying how I felt. I felt like I was in the room with the concert while it was going. I could decipher exactly where every instrument was, the vocals, the amazing guitar playing, everything. It was just laid out like it would be if you were really attending the concert, and the three-dimensional sound was amazing. So I feel like with this Mobile Fidelity record of Jeff Beck, you're getting the sound quality. That's what you're paying for, this expert mastering. So, and there's also probably, because they are a smaller company, have bigger expenses to get the titles, to be able to do them and release them in an audiophile version. So for $39.99, in my opinion, for the quality and the listening experience I got, I felt like it was worth it. Now let's go ahead and move on to yet another one. This is Black Sabbath. Now, from what I can tell, this is like a record store day release from last April, maybe. Okay, so I'm just going to say it right now. Do not buy records when you have insomnia. That's where this came from. That's why I bought it. I just couldn't sleep that night, and I bought it at the same time I bought the INXS record from Experience Vinyl, so the shipping and the customer service was great. But it was $48, and I also did some comparison shopping, and any company that I had heard of before, it was about the same price. That's really high for one LP. As you can see, though, it is a special vinyl. So Again, this came in a paper sleeve. It did not come in a polyline sleeve like you would maybe think for $48. But check this out. This is gorgeous. This is one of the prettier records I own. It looks even prettier than the picture shows it to be. So I feel like this is an absolutely beautiful record. If you were into splatter vinyl, you're going to love this. And I think it's extremely cool to look at. Sound quality wise, I have already a copy of this on the Vertigo label. You know, an old original on the Vertigo label. Unfortunately, where I do think it sounds better, the clicks and pops and damage to the record. It's funny, the better your stereo equipment, the more you notice those clicks and pops. And what was listenable on lesser equipment became unlistenable on nicer equipment with my Vertigo, I'm sorry to say. So I like this better because I can actually sit through and listen to it. It's not quite as good, I would say. Ozzy's vocals, especially like War Pigs, for example, I think is better on my old Vertigo version. But then there's a great songs on here, like I really think Planet Caravan is great on this particular version because it's so quiet and it's just so smooth. I enjoy that very much. The special effects on Iron Man are still really good. I think they're a little bit more potent on my old Vertigo, but it's unlistenable, you know? So I think this is really a mixed bag. $48 for one LP. I will say it was flat, didn't have any warping issues, but I didn't get a paper. I got a paper sleeve. I don't know. It's just $48 is a lot of money for one record. Again, that was me making a decision while I couldn't sleep in the middle of the night. For some reason, I've always kind of made a deal for myself to leave them in the cart. And then the next day, if I still feel very strongly that I want to order it, I order it. For some reason, I got paranoid. That's funny because this album's paranoid. I got paranoid that it was going to sell out or something, and I pressed the order. I think I was also worried about the INXS record selling out, so I went ahead and bought it. I have no regrets. Sometimes we do pay $10 more than we should. That's just kind of the nature of vinyl collecting. Sometimes we find a steal, sometimes we pay a little more, and I like to think it averages out. Now I want to show you one more record, and I want to hear what you have to say about this. This is Fleetwood Mac, the Mirage Tour of 1982. So what you get with this one, let me just check it out, okay? This was $59.98, and I bought it on Amazon. It was an impulse buy, but I don't, you know, it was okay that I bought it on impulse. I was talking to my friend Mike from Nebraska. He was telling me how good this is, and I looked at it, and I went ahead and bought it while we were on the phone. So it was just one of those deals where I put him on speaker while I ordered this on my phone. And here it is. Look what you get. Has a really nice open trifold with a lot of great pictures back from the Mirage Tour. One of the bonuses for me, and this is just a little thing, I like the song Love in Store. And yes, it came from the Mirage album, but it's kind of one of those forgotten hits by Fleetwood Mac that I really enjoy. It's a very different version of that song on here, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Why would you want a live album to sound identical to the studio anyway? You want it to sound kind of close, but you know, it doesn't have to be exact. So let me show you. These are Polyline sleeves, all three, so they don't have to be replaced. I can clean them, clean the records, and use these Polyline sleeves. Mine is on clear vinyl. Honestly, if the option on Amazon would have been black vinyl, I would have took that instead. I'm not a fan of clear vinyl. Anytime I bought clear vinyl, I've been able to hear it. It's noisy for me. Maybe you've had great luck. I don't. So 3 LPs, that breaks it down to $20 a record. You're getting Polyline sleeves, so you don't have to replace those. You're getting a trifold. You're ordering it from Amazon. There might be a little bit higher markup at a store. You know, I try not to buy from Amazon when I don't have to. I like helping the other record stores because honestly, if everybody buys from Amazon instead of local record stores aren't going to carry new records anymore. You know, I know their bread and butter of making money is used records, but they do also, for our convenience, carry new records. And I don't think they make as much money off those. And so if we all just buy from Amazon, it's probably not worth their trouble. So I try to buy as many reissues or new records from record stores as I can. So Amazon, I try not to do it, but every once in a while I do. This record, sound quality wise, it is not on par with that Mobile Fidelity live Jeff Beck record. It just isn't. It does have its great moments and it has disastrous moments in my opinion. Landslide gave me goosebumps. It was absolutely beautiful. Stevie Nicks' voice sounds very, very good on this recording. Songbird by Christine McVie is glorious. I really like Hold Me. I thought that one sounded really good. Tusk is a complete disaster. It sounds terrible. And yet the madness of Lindsey Buckingham, he just kind of goes off the rails on that song. And I dig it. I like Crazy Lindsey. I like his avant-garde, unusual take. I tend to like a lot of his music. He's just an unusual artist. Underrated, in my opinion, for his solo work. But Tusk doesn't sound good, but I love Lindsey on that particular song. And it is a very nice record. And 3 LPs, $60. $60 is a lot to spend at one time on a vinyl record. However, when you just look at it with 3 LPs, colored vinyl if you're into that, the Polyline Sleeves, and a wonderful trifold album cover, I think that's a great value. I don't know how much cheaper you can get than that. So it just depends on whether you like live music. But here is the rub for me. Out of these 4 records I just discussed, if you price each record, add them up in your head, and you do add what you're paying in tax, and you do add what you pay in shipping, I'm about $200 in. And what I'm going to do is I've cleaned them, I've played them, I've added them into Discogs, I've sleeved them, I got them ready to go. They're about to go into this huge sea of a vinyl collection. And that's where the question comes in for me. It isn't what I paid today, it's the value I'm going to get back. There are some records in this pile, probably Black Sabbath, very much so Jeff Beck, that I'm going to play often. I will visit those records a lot because I really love them. And the others are good too. I have a lot of competition though when it comes to Fleetwood Mac. I have a lot of choices. So will I pull this live album out as often as I think I would when I pulled the trigger? Time will tell. I can't play everything all the time. I've got enough records now. $200 is a lot of money to plunk down on 4 records when I already have a huge collection. I also want to point out though, even though I'm kind of bringing up a little bit of a negative, each one of these records is different for every one of us. What we like to collect, what we like to have, the sentimental value of having the physical format of a record. And I would say what I'm willing to spend on one record is very different from what I'm willing to spend on another. It really depends on what emotions come out when I see or listen to a record, the memories behind it, how much I love the music of it. The sound quality plays a part too. So I'm willing to spend more money on a record that brings back more memories, that means a lot to me, than a record that had a couple hits on it that I might visit every once in a while. I don't want to spend as much on that. So anyway, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you maybe spend too much on some of your records? Which ones of the ones I'm showing, which ones do you think are out of line and which ones do you think are priced fairly? Most importantly though, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video because both help my channel out tremendously. Most importantly though, just thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.